What's up, guys? I kind of had the idea to just do this on like a whim because I've seen a lot of discussion surrounding this topic, so I figured, you know, I just give my 2 cents on it because I'm bored. I have nothing better to do. It's 11:13 p.m. I have college in like the noon tomorrow, so we're just gonna while I have downtime, I guess, just go over my thoughts on the whole thing. So obviously, if you don't for some reason know what I'm talking about, in the most recent update, Epic vaulted Shockwaves from Core BR. Now, they were also vaulted in this season of OG, so I haven't really had to go through the pain of experiencing them all too much because I've been playing more of this than mainline. Because just generally, in my opinion, this is better than mainline, but I'll try to stay on topic. Yeah, oh wow, okay. The Shockwaves got vaulted. I genuinely, when I first saw that post, I thought they were lying. I genuinely thought they were lying about that because, like, I had played earlier that day on my live stream, and I had an inventory of, like, 2 stacks of Shockwaves. So I was wondering, why the hell would they just straight up lie about that? People would catch on, right? But I guess I just played before the hotfix had fully applied, because sure enough, once they put out that tweet, they were vaulted. And I have seen so much discussion from so many different sides talking about, like, oh my god, dude, Shockwaves are gone, this is so awesome, or they're like, bro, how am I meant to play this game anymore? Shockwaves were, like, my favorite item in the game, how am I meant to do anything now? Now, if you want my personal 2 cents, I'm very happy they were gone. My personal take is that they've been overpowered ever since they were added, but the thing that had mainly turned me on to them being really overpowered, like, in the first place, was specifically something that happened around, like, Chapter 2, Season 8, for anybody who played around that season. You would remember the voting boards that got added, and you were able to use gold to fund for a specific item to be unvaulted within the loot pool, and the first ever vote they held was between the legendary Shockwave launcher, which was something that had never been added to the game before, and Rift-to-Goes. Now, obviously, I wanted Shockwave launchers because even back then, I still had some distaste towards Shockwaves for thinking that they were really broken. But once they were eventually added, and they won out against the Rift-to-Go, the Shockwave launcher was added. Now, this is a specific scenario that really made me think about it. Armored walls were a trap that got added in Chapter 2, Season 8. And their whole gimmick was, if you put them on any player-built structure, they get buffed to have 2,500 HP. And obviously, that's really strong. That's a very high health wall that should take a lot of effort to destroy. But if you had a Shockwave launcher, you could just break straight through it like it was fucking paper. Now, obviously, that's busted, and I was just honestly seeing that happen, like me testing it out for myself, being like, oh my god, these things can break through just the armored walls, why is that possible? I was really disappointed that people had brought it in, and that was like, I guess the point of that was just my backstory behind why I'm on team, yes, thank god Shockwaves are vaulted. But I've seen a lot of people just... Okay, let me think. The best way to phrase this. Shockwaves have been in the loot pool consecutively for... I gotta count real quick, but it's been a few years. Shockwaves have been in since Chapter 4, Season 2. They've been available in every season, at least at some point. So that would be... nearly 3 whole years of having Shockwaves dominate the loot pool in terms of mobility items. So that is a long-ass time for something to run rampant. The pump shotgun, in its heyday, did not run that rampant. And as a result of this, there have been many casual players who consider Shockwaves to be as vital to the loot pool, as much of a core item, as shotguns are throughout the entirety of this game's history. Now, we can argue about whether or not both things are healthy. To be completely honest, shotguns being as dominant as they are, and have been for so long, probably isn't good for the overall health of the game, but it's just been this way for so long, since the literal start of the game, that it's just kind of become, like, a fact of life. But Shockwaves Shockwaves were not added. Shockwaves actually used to come in and out of the loot pool. Crazy shit. Like, right now, they are, as I previously said at the beginning of this video, they got vaulted during this specific OG season. Let me kind of lock in real quick. I want to make sure that I don't have to deal with anything stupid. Not really. Let me see, does this work? A little bit. But you know what, let me just keep talking. So yeah, my point was, Shockwaves became almost like a defining loot pool item as much as shotguns. So something extremely meta-defining. Something so damn powerful that people, now that they are gone, are complaining and being like, how am I meant to play this game now that my crutch item has been removed? And honestly, I mean, I really was one of the people that said, like, when they replaced them with crash pads, I was like, just use crash pads, but I did not realize the spawn rate of crash pads was so low. So obviously, I do think they need to fix that. And once crash pads have, like, corrected spawn rates and are not as rare as the doubly nerfed Shockwave spawns, I think the movement side of the Chapter 7 loot pool will be fine. But people are acting like crash pads are completely useless in comparison to Shockwaves, because Shockwaves have just been such a powerful, brainless, no downside movement item that people are just so taken aback that this movement item that we're using has actual downsides and you need to think whenever you have to use them. It's unheard of for modern Fortnite to have to think when using a movement item, especially when Shockwaves have been in the loot pool for so long. Can you stop fucking shooting at me? Anyways, anyway, let me try to get back on track. But yeah, people have just grown so accustomed to, like, this game just spoon-feeding them, like, just their free get out of jail free cards, that, like, people have just overall... What am I even talking about right now? I am so sorry. I'm extremely scatterbrained. It's late at night. I really wanted to try and get my thoughts out on this, but anyways, I guess I'm just trying to say, Shockwave's gone. Good. It's not the end of the world that they're gone. Obviously, people are just gonna have to get used to that. This is a huge meta shakeup, and I am all here for it, for more reasons than one. I honestly didn't even really use Shockwaves a whole lot. I really honestly liked the wingsuit. I would use that more often because I like unique items. But, like, obviously if I was really trying to, like, you know, I want to try hard this game, let me lock the hell in, I would obviously pick up Shockwaves because, you know, why wouldn't you? They were just... My game froze. Okay, never mind, we're good. They were just, like, the obvious pick every single time. Because, as I said, there's, like, no downside to using them. You just throw one down at your feet, you break through any structure that you want. It doesn't... I thought I got nothing. I genuinely thought I just got nothing. You break through any structure that you would want. You can break out of anywhere, you can push into anywhere, and if you have enough of them, if you're getting pressured even just the slightest bit, you can get out of anywhere. Just, like... I want to say, like, there's this video from Jakku's, like, when Shockwaves were first vaulted, where they explained it a little bit better than me, and I recommend watching that. I'll probably put that in the description. They had, like, a better analogy than I am trying to put it right now, but they were just free. Shockwaves were just free movement. I honestly, rather than having crash pads, I would have rathered having something like impulse grenades, because those were, like, essentially Shockwaves before they were Shockwaves. Or even then, if people are still complaining, crash pads still are moving the mark for people, Epic could either nerf Shockwaves a specific way or introduce a new item that's, like, basically just a semi-nerf Shockwave. It's like an impulse grenade, and it's like an impulse Shockwave hybrid, like a middle ground between the two. It has the same launch strength as the Shockwave, but, like, it doesn't cancel fall damage, and it doesn't break through structures. I feel like that would be a lot more balanced. I think if they were to introduce something like that to, like, maybe satisfy some of, like, the complaints about Shockwaves being gone, maybe that would be decent. How did a bot get this far? We don't even have post-Chapter 3 matchmaking. Why are you still alive? But anyways, I think that's probably going to be it. Is this another robot? Really? That's weird. But yeah, I don't know. This is probably going to be it. I do not feel like editing this video, so if any more thoughts come to me, I will keep them up. We're just going to finish off this game of Fortnite OG. If you're wondering why I'm playing OG rather than main BR in a video discussing the loot pool of main BR, it's as I said previously, OG is a better game mode. Why are my builds making no sound? Okay, no. Get me out of there. Alright. You're on a... Damn, this shockwave vaulting got people acting retarded as fuck. Holy shit. Now I remember why people don't use the burst. It don't really matter, though. We can still get up in here. I'm gonna use the boombox. Let me pull up on this kid. Where did they... Alright. Have fun with that, buddy. I love this stupid ass game mode, bro. Hopefully this goes to show all of you just how good at this game I am. Oh, fuck. This guy had 3 campfires. Okay. Thank you. Come again. You had a spaz and lost? You suck. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting to get a win. But I mean, if the players I'm coming up against are playing this shittily, we might have a chance. I pick that up. I'm going to go back over to my grappler. It was over here. I didn't reload my rifle. Shit. I'm missing out on my 6 bullets. I could be max now, but now I'm only at 496. God damn it. 494. I can't count. Alright, someone's definitely used this rift already. Have they fixed the effects on it? You know, I should definitely take the Scar. In any other situation other than this, I would take the Scar. However, since I know the burst rifle is getting vaulted in like a month, I want to say, I want to use it. Because this is, like, 1, the rarest weapon in the entire damn loot pool, and 2, I like it. I know that I was being ass with it in a bit, like, a little bit ago, but, like, I like the gun a lot. I love the burst rifle. Especially since they finally fixed it. Wait a minute, I could be really funny right here. I could be extremely fucking annoying right here. This could be awesome. Thank you, turret hitbox. That's why you never use a turret. Alright, thanks for watching. If you for some reason watched after I stopped talking, Thanks. Use my creator code or something. It's probably in the description. Like the video. I don't fucking know. Just fucking transgender, trans rights. I don't know how else to end this. Goodbye.